Hello from Georgia. We are from Sachar Second Public School and we are introducing our project Talking Kites. We are discussed children's rights and we want to talk about it.
Every child has a right to privacy. The law must protect children's family, home, communications and reputations from any attack.
Children have the right to the best care possible, clean water to drink, healthy food, and a place to live in.
Children are not people of tomorrow,
but people today.
Everybody, every human being has obligation to contribute somehow in this world.
One child waking up homeless on Christmas is tragedy.
We have to try to help them.
People always say that we should silence due to age, but you always say your medicine.
Close your eyes and listen. Listen to the silent screams of terrified mothers, the prayers of anguished men and women. Listen to the tears of children, Jewish children, beautiful little girl among them with golden hair, whose vulnerable tenderness has never left me. Look and listen as they walk towards that flame so gigantic that the planet itself seemed in danger. No human being is illegal. We know that, and from the sight of nowadays all the things that Nazis were doing are terrifying and out of normal frames. But back then, life for Jewish people, life for Jewish children was brutal. It seemed like the universe was against them and they were born to be tortured. Among with elderly people, children had the lowest rate of survival in the concentration camps and killing centers. Children between age 11 to 15 were immediately sent to the Auschwitz-Birkenau and other killing centers. The memories of their suffering has haunted the survivors for many decades to come. They were clearing rubble of a factory and cleaning ruins and drying swamps with their bare hands. Later, one of the survivors remembered. I remember during the blackout, I remember voices of their children whimpering. Later, one of the survivors remembered. During the blackout, there could be heard voices of the children whimpering. It seemed like they were calling for their parents who would never come. They were sleeping in a block 5 in order to 20 kids to stay together. They were sleeping on the blankets spread on the ground. Nazis systematically worked to death the little slaves. We are alive, we are human, with the bad and good in us. We can create a new world or a new space. What's our choice? We can do evil things like our enemies and create a world based on hate, or we can try to make things better. I had been separated from my mother so long that mother itself did not mean anything to me. I was a little girl. I had done nothing to nobody, but I had to go there. These are stories of innocence in the world of ignorance. But from now on, we should be the guardians of the children to make sure they won't live in a world of ignorance and they won't be tortured again.
I am 14 years old and I am child. Any human being 18 years of 18 is a child. Children have their own rights. All children have all these rights, no matter who they are, where they live, what language they speak, who their parents or their families are, or what they do and value, if they are rich or poor. When adults make decisions, they should think about what it will affect to children. All governments should make sure children are protected and looked after by their parents.
We have rights, we have life, we need hug, we need love, we need friends and parents, normal life as you have.
Greta Thunberg, Swedish environmental and climate change activist, by which the school strives gained international recognition. Greta was 5 years old when she started spending Friday in front of the Swedish parliament in 2018 and demanded to active involvement of the Swedish government in campaigning climate change. Greta was soon joined by other young people in a 2019 Time magazine named Greta Man of the Year. Greta was also nominated for the Nobel Prize in 2019 and 2020. Thunberg first learned about climate change in 2011 when he was 8 years old and wondered why little was being done against climate change.
Thunberg believed that due to global warming, humanity is experiencing an existential crisis and is increasing that sense of responsibility of today's adult young people. Thunberg notes that climate change will have a disproportionate impact on younger people.
In 1940, after the German occupation of Warsaw, the operage he headed was moved to the Warsaw ghetto. Korczak himself was arrested, but was released a few months later at the request of someone close to the Germans who wanted to gain authority over the Jews with this gesture. Upon his release from the prison, Korczak voluntarily returned to the ghetto, where he visited real heroism on a daily basis to obtain food and medicine for the children. In addition, in order not to make them feel the fear and the imminent danger, he systematically concluded lessons almost in the usual way. Janusz Korczak rejected all offers to steal from the ghetto and hide in a real district. His friend, Polish journalist Igor Abramov, revealed that for Korczak, the apartment and documents had already been prepared. He could leave the ghetto at any time. When Igor gave him a pass, Janusz asked his friends only one question: would you leave your children sickness and trouble? Igor whistled and that he only blowed his head in response. Yeah, and here are my 200 children. How can I leave them, or how can I live after that? In early August 1942, an order was issued to the ghetto deport the operage. Everyone expects the children knew what the word meant. In this case, the children and Korczak were put in the trunk on the train that was headed towards the Temple concentration camp. For this moment, until the last minute, every time Emanuel Ringelbaum wrote that Korczak was offered to leave the children at the very last moment, but it was terrible. Janusz pat the children on all fours, grabbed the two of them by the hand and led them forward to the gas camp. Who is this man? I could not answer because I was crying.
He believed that instead of learning to reach the child, it was necessary to stand on one's feet. The law should first be created for children and then extended to adults. Child is first and foremost a human being, and then a child deserves respect and love. Believe me, this man had every right to utter this. At first glance, conversational words, because he proved his love for children not only with his amazing books and scientific theses. Our guest today is famous Polish teacher, writer, and public figure, the amazing person Janusz Korczak, who was born on July 22, 1878, in the city of Warsaw. Korczak grew up in a very intelligent Jewish family, but for a long time considered himself a pure Pole, which he always emphasized, and it was only after the persecution of Jews in Poland that Korczak proudly declared himself a Jew, adding, but a Polish Jew. Janusz Korczak belonged to a rather rare category of people who set a goal from the beginning of life and follow it to the end. He was a doctor by profession and teacher by vocation. Before starting his career, he traveled to Switzerland to study the work of Johann Pessoas, one of the most powerful teachers in the world. Korczak then traveled to Germany and France to gain exercise, where he underwent internship at children's hospitals and various educational institutions.
After returning to Poland, Karchuk opened the first open and began lecturing on higher pedagogical courses.
ესე ნახე რა კარგად მიგვეს ეს. აი, აფრთინგანი გო რაღაც პატრიკ სამოჭრე, ხა? არა? ვინ და